Hey guys, I'm Michael Cade, aka vZilla. Let's get started with before the Office Refresh project begun. So before I had an iMac, surrounded by two Asus 27-inch monitors, had a bit of a performance issue, so jumped my MacBook Pro in there. You can see here I had a bit of a gaming corner already with a couple of consoles. And then the purchasing started, that retail therapy, and started to buy a load of things for the new setup. You can see the pile just growing and growing with some of the stuff that we're going to go through later. And this is how it looked from a bit of a wider angle, and you can see the pile of stuff over there on the right hand side. Now, obviously, all good builds have to have some sort of decoration, and probably a year ago I brought this World or this Atlas decal to go on the wall right in front of where my desk or where my setup is going to be. Lots of people asked about this. Just Amazon and give it a search for Atlas decal. Now, the reason why I put it off for so long was simply because I have no patience and I was never ever going to be able to do this. So I got my wife. She's amazing at this stuff, and you can see the build out of how this looks. Really happy with how that plays into that corner, that arc in there, and that whole grayscale. You can see how it really helps that room. It gives it a bit of a feature. So the first thing I then went and did was took those Asus 27 inches and put them on a stand over onto the left of where my normal desk will be, and that will be where my laptop or my secondary station's going to be. So let's have just a quick visual of what that looks like. So you can see already that we've got the new monitor stand. That's where currently the MacBook Pro is, and that's where I'm working from. I've also brought the Rode PSA-1, the Rode SMR, and the Rode NT USB with a bit of a light switch on there for the calls that I'm doing at the moment. You see this incredible mound of new stuff that we're going to get into as well. And you still see, but a little bit more untidy than what it was in that first image. But you can see that that's where the bit of a gaming station is with the old TV. So then just behind there and a bit of a whiteboard, just so that when I get into creating more content whilst we're stuck at home, is I really want to be able to have many different ways of creating that content. So let's now get into what's the kit that I went for, and I've also put a blog out on vZilla.co.uk which really focuses in on why I've done this. So to begin with, we're going to start by, you can see that on the desk, I've got that. It's a cheap lamp, to be fair, but on the desk I've put two implants in. So one is an audio jack, so that will plug straight into the desktop, and the other one is a wireless charging mat, and that sits flush with the desk, as well as the audio one, the black one. That gives us the ability to have additional USB ports within the desk. So that will just, again, the cable underneath will run underneath and it will go straight to the desktop. Disappointing bit there is that it's only USB 2, but great for charging any peripherals up. So first up, I've seen this on a load of YouTube reviews and office tours, is the Anker USB hub. So USB 3, the plan for this is that it will go under the desk on the right hand side. You'll see it in the finished up videos as to where this is going to go. I also had a load of SSDs and small hard drives kicking about. So I brought this little drive enclosure just so that we can actually start to see what some of that data is. So now we're getting into the kit. So I went with the Razer Viper Ultimate, so wireless gaming mouse with a charging dock. It has the optical mouse switch, the memory profiles, I thought, and it got some really great reviews out there. So next up is the webcam that I went for, which is the Razer Kaio. So the most important thing here is that it's got that light around, which is pretty dark up in my office, so I wanted to make sure that we had more additional light. Also the 720 60 frames per second HD. Then we went for the Razer Nari Ultimate. Now, you've already seen the microphone setup that I had. So I wanted to make sure that I had a wireless headset, but also good enough to listen to music and really concentrate on listening to some content. Then to put them on was around the actual Razer base station, also in Chroma. So going to get some RGB on there. Yeah, it's just going to look nice over in the corner of the office. just to run a cable underneath the desk again to the desktop. So for the keyboard, I went for the Logitech G915. So wireless RGB mechanical gaming keyboard with the clicky switch. Now, this got some amazing reviews. I actually got a good friend of mine gave me the heads up on the G815, but I wanted to keep it very minimalistic in the office setup, and I had to play around on the keys here, and they're exactly what I wanted. I'm very familiar with the Apple keyboard, but I also really like that mechanical keyboard touch and feel. So this was important for us to go with. Next up is the Razer Nomo Chroma, so 2.0 gaming speakers. This is really for listening to videos, training, etc., where I don't need to have a headphone in, I don't need to use my mic, etc. I'm not talking to anyone. This is purely for me to actually consume content. I thought they looked pretty smart. There's three areas or three different options here. You've got the base layer, which doesn't have that chroma. You've got this one that does, and then you've got their like top of the range 400-500 pound version. They look really nice. I just can't warrant spending that much money on there. Finally, for the main setup, I went with the Razer Goliath extended Chroma mouse mat, which is the soft version. Now, I haven't had a mouse mat for years, but I wanted to at least get back into having that, and also it gives off this bit of chroma, or this RGB. So I wanted to have a look at that and see what that looks like. I think it will set off the desk quite nicely. So that's pretty much it for the main like primary station. But then there's also the laptop or the secondary station that I mentioned. So I went with the Razer Blackwidow here, and this nearly was the first choice keyboard that I was going to go for as well. When I went into the Razer store in London, just feels nice, mechanical, 10 keyless, looks and feels the part. We've got this monster. So this is the Asus ROG Strix XG49V, so 49-inch ultra wide. I've been spoiled with my 27-inch iMac. This was what I really wanted to really set off that desk. And that's it. That's all we've got. I've got an Atheros Razer mice coming as well for that secondary station. But I think the Amazon driver can take a break now. And hopefully what we're really waiting for is the desktop delivery from Overclockers UK. And as soon as that arrives, then the fun can really begin with cable management, with actually getting things up and running.